Alright guys, thanks for tuning into this latest video. In this video we're going to show you a fault that we're getting with the Mercedes-Benz. We have the airbag light showing on the dashboard here, and we have what we believe is a problem with the front driver's belt buckle. I'm going to show you the fault codes that we've been getting and go through the whole process of fixing the fault and then actually erasing the dashboard warning lights. What I'll do is I'll put the link to this kit in the description below this video. It's a Mercedes 2008 C-Class estate that we're in right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto diagnostics. We have this plugged into the dashboard, and I'm going to show you the fault code that we've been getting first and foremost before we do anything else. Okay, so we'll go into Benz, and you can either select your vehicle manually from a huge list, but the easiest thing to do, I think, is just to go to VIN identity. It doesn't always work. Some vehicles it works, some vehicles it doesn't, so just be aware of that. So if we click on the read, it's automatically found the VIN code. We'll just click OK to that, and it's automatically found the vehicle. It's a 204C220 CDI, which is correct. Okay, so we're going to click on OK, and we're going to go to control unit, and this basically allows us to select the system that we wish to diagnose. So you can see we've got a list of 67 here, so we need to work our way towards the airbag system. So I'm just working my way down till we find the airbag system. Here it is, SRS supplemental restraint system. So we click OK on that, and it's going to connect, and it's going to allow us to read the fault code. So this is going to be the fault code that is relating to that airbag light. So if we go read fault code, we've got a B005013, state current and historic. The belt buckle driver has a malfunction. There was an open circuit. Okay, so what we try to do, we've tried to clear the fault, because sometimes it can be like an intermittent fault, and an intermittent fault can generally be cleared, but if the fault persists, then it will come back, and the warning light will come back. So if I go clear fault code, the airbag light has gone off, but watch what happens. It says erase operation done, but it has come back on. So when we try to erase the fault codes, it basically tells the ECU, yep, we want to erase this code. The ECU will check to see if that fault has been fixed, and if the ECU is not happy that the fault has been fixed correctly, it'll just pop the warning light straight back on. Okay, so that's exactly what's happened in this case. We haven't actually fixed the fault yet, so we need to now look at what we can do. Now, we'll put that down for one side. This is the part, this is the belt buckle that needs to be replaced. We've already got the part ready to fit. So you can see it's the standard seat belt buckle with an electrical connection in there as well. And what I'm going to show you is the part number. This is for the driver's right side. So if you are looking for the part, then use that part number. If you've got a 204 driver's side, this is the right hand side. If you're in Europe, it might be different, so please do your own checks for the correct part number for your vehicle first of all, but this is the correct part number for our vehicle right now. And what we need to do is get the original belt buckle out, which we're now going to attempt, and it can be a little bit tricky, so we'll see how we get on. So before we get taking this apart, you can actually see this is the belt buckle here, and if we get a bit closer, we can see where the problem is. You see this electrical connection has completely snapped off. Now there is a nut that we need to remove right down there. It's quite tricky to get to. Right, so actually getting to that nut down there is going to be pretty much impossible. It's really, really difficult. So I think the quickest thing to do in the long run is to just remove the 4 bolts which hold the seat in place, and then we can kind of tilt the whole seat backwards and then get easy access to the bolt right beside that. So to do that, we've got just 4 10mm bolts, so you can see the bolt there, and it's just a case of undoing these. So we've got 2 on the front, 2 on the back, so all the bolts are out now. So it's just really a case of trying to maneuver the seat into a position whereby we can get access to that. So I'll do a little bit of playing around and show you the right position. So if you pull the seat back just a little bit, you'll be able to get the seat kind of in this position here. And then ultimately what we've got is a lot easier access to the bolt which is holding that in. Now I think it's a 17. Let's check it. So it is a 17. You can either use a spanner if you want, but I've managed to maneuver it enough for me to get like a socket set in here And once you've kind of loosened it, it should loosen really easily by hand. And there we go. So we got that off. You can take a flathead screwdriver and just see, you need to get this black thing here over this here. So it's just a case of there. It kind of just flicks out. So we got that removed. Now it's a case of tracing the wire underneath. So you can see it comes up here. This is the wire here. I do apologise. So this is the wire here. It kind of disappears. Where does it disappear to? Ah, I see. This is it here. So it's going, this is it here by the way, the yellow and black. So it's going into that end one there. So I need to remove that end one and then start replacing it with the new one. So what we need to do first of all is just remove this yellow connector from this like black plastic container. Just pulls out, and then we've got two little retaining clips at the end there to just pull one side of the electrical connection out like that. And then it's obviously it's this one here, it's the yellow and black that we need to, little end connector that we need to remove. Right, so we got that out. It's just really a case of putting like a really thin kind of screwdriver into these sections here, and then kind of like trying to release the clips to pull it out. I did get a little bit snap on the end there, but that's not to worry because this is the broken part in any case. So it's just a case of now unraveling this and then putting the new part in. Right, so we now have the new belt in place. We've bolted it in there. I've fed the wire through here, so you can see the black wire with the yellow stripe on it there. That's the wire, and then we bring it underneath, and I brought it all the way along here. I haven't plugged it in yet. I will need to find some new cable ties. I haven't got any at the minute, so I'll have to pop out and get some, but that's not a problem. I can still hook everything back up and then come back and connect the cable ties when it's easier to do so. So I'm going to have to do this with one hand, but it's just a case of sliding that back in there until it clicks. So there we got the click there, and then popping this back on its little house here. Again, I'm finding it difficult with one hand at the minute. There we are. Life is so much easier when you've got a spare hand. And then just pop this electrical connection back in. Make sure that's insecure. So at this point, what I guess we could do is we can, without putting the seat back together, we can use our diagnostic tool to see if we can clear the warning light. Right, so I've put the seat back in place loosely. I haven't bolted anything in just yet, but I'm sitting on the seat now, so we've got the tool plugged in again. You can see now what we have is the airbag light still on, but we also have the seatbelt warning light. From memory, I don't believe that was coming on before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug my seatbelt in here, and there that light has gone. Don't worry about the glow plug light, that's a completely different issue. That'll probably go out on its own in a second. So the main issue here is we want to get the airbag light off, okay? So we're going to click onto diagnostics, just basically going in exactly the same way as we did before. VIN identify, okay to that, so it finds the vehicle, and then go down to control unit, find the airbag system, and this is where I'm hopeful that when we erase the codes, when we ask the ECU to turn the warning light off, it'll stay off once I do the command. So let's just have a look, see how it goes here. Initializing first of all, see if I can get this a bit closer. Right, so we'll just go back and read the fault code. So now it's got historic. It's also got a fault there because we removed the connection, if you remember. So I'm just going to come out here. I'm going to click on clear memory. I'm going to click OK. So when I do this, when I click OK, just keep an eye on the airbag light. Right, so erase operation is done. Now the test will be right now to see if it comes back on. And that is a success because it hasn't come back on within a few seconds, which it did last time. So I would say that we've successfully fixed this fault, and now we've got a pass on the system. You can go back into it, click on read fault codes, and this time the faults are staying off because the ECU is happy that the fault has been fixed. The circuit is now complete. So all I really need to do now, and I'll do that off camera, is bolt the seat back in, get some cable ties, just make sure that connection, the wire is nicely secure in and around the seat area. But guys, I will put this kit, it does all other systems as well, and I will put this kit in the description below this video. So if you do have any sort of airbag fault, this tool will allow you to diagnose the fault, get the fault codes, and then set you on your way to resetting the warning light and fixing the fault. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.